When we're going to perform a land title survey or an ALTA survey for a client, we will oftentimes provide them with what we call our standard Table A items. Why do we do that? And what items do we check on our standard Table A? I want to explain that to you. Before I get into that, I just want to give a quick shout out to Dave Woolley at Dave Woolley and Associates. Dave runs an excellent boundary surveying company in Southern California. He's in the LA basin, and Dave provided some of the audio video equipment for our videos, which was very generous of him. And it's one of the reasons why hopefully the sound quality on our videos has greatly improved in the last few weeks. So thank you, Dave. You're a gentleman and a scholar. We appreciate that. So a Table A is a list of optional items that you can order when you request an ALTA survey or a land title survey. And so just as a brief review, a land title survey is a special kind of survey that you get that's used to remove what we call the survey exception from title insurance coverage, land title insurance coverage on a real estate transaction. So it's a very special kind of survey. We do a lot of them. And that when a surveyor does a land title survey, there's a list of things that he or she has to do. Okay, and that's in the main part of the spec. But then there are some things that are optional. So the surveyor doesn't have to do them unless you request them, and there's a special form you use to request them. It's called a Table A. I have it right here. So what it looks like. This is a Table A. Okay, and so we will oftentimes provide our client with what we call our standard Table A when we prepare a proposal. So why is that? Why do we do that? Okay, the main reason we do that is because a lot of clients don't know what to check on Table A. And so, we'll ask them, we'll say, hey, can we get your Table A items? We need the Table A before we estimate the survey because depending on what you check on Table A, the survey cost could vary a great deal. So when we're preparing the fee estimate for the land title survey, we always ask the client for the Table A. And so we'll say, hey, can we get the Table A? And a lot of times when we ask that question, the client says, they don't know what we're talking about. And so one of the things, and that's okay. That's part of the reason they hire us, right? It's because we're the experts. So we found that it helps our clients oftentimes if we can provide a standard Table A. And it doesn't happen, sometimes we work with it's typically a lender that's sophisticated enough to know what they want on the Table A. But a lot of times, in fact, probably the majority of the times, we don't. The lender doesn't know what they want on the Table A. So we like to provide a standard Table A with our recommendations for what should reasonably be included. So I want to go over the items that we cover on our standard Table A and just briefly tell you why we check these boxes. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to go down the list. So we include Table A item number 1. That's for placement of monuments. If you're going to pay for a good boundary survey, you need to have the monuments set. Otherwise, you could be wasting a lot of that money. You want monuments in the ground. That's how everybody's going to know where the parcel boundaries are at. And if you're paying for a land title survey, you're basically paying for most of the cost of the monument placement anyways. Just do it. Do it now. So we include item 1. Item 2 is addresses of the surveyed property. We always include that. One of the reasons that's important is typically that's how lay people, common people identify property. And so if the parcel I'm surveying has a different address than the parcel you think you're buying, that's a problem. That's why we check Table A item number 2. Item number 3 is flood zone classification. That's a huge deal here in Central California, whether we're on the coast or in the Central Valley. So we always check that for our clients here. They want to know what flood zone they're in. Gross land area, that's item number 4. We typically check that. That's something that almost always the buyer wants to know. They want to know how much land they're buying, so we include that. We skip 5 and 6. We jump down to number 7. We include 7. That's the exterior dimensions and heights of all the buildings. We do that again for the same reason. Most buyers want to know the rough square footage of buildings that are on the property, and the height's important because a lot of times there's building height restrictions as part of the land use regulations, so we include both of those. Number 8, we include that substantial features observed during the survey. So that just means you want to know what's on the property. And that's usually a good idea as part of due diligence. That's why we include it. And we'll do that with some combination of what we call a ground topographic survey and usually some type of aerial photography. We also include number 9. Number 9 is basically having us tell you how much parking is on the site. That is really important in urban areas, especially parking can be a huge issue, and so most of our clients want to know, they want the surveyor to tell them exactly how many parking spaces are on the property. Then we skip down to number 13. Number 13 is the name of adjoining owners according to the tax records. We include that because most of the time people want to know who their neighbors are. You know, you don't want to have an alligator farm next to a parachute, skydiving company. That was a Far Side cartoon one time. So most people want to know who owns the land next door. So we include that. And then the last item we include is number 16. That's just evidence of construction, recent construction. That's really important for a couple reasons. One is if there's been recent construction, there could be construction liens on the property. The other reason is if somebody's building something and you're about to buy it, you want to know what was being built. Is it finished? Is it not finished? Those are important issues. So those are the items that we include in our standard table A. Just to review, item number 1, monuments. Item number 2, addresses. Item number 3, flood zone classification. Item number 4, gross land area. Item number 7, building dimensions. Item number 8, things on the property that we observed during the survey. Item number 9, parking spaces. Item 13, names of the neighbors. And item 16, evidence of recent construction. So those are the items we include. The reason we provide a standard table A is a lot of times the bank doesn't know what items should be included, or the attorney that's doing due diligence, so we like to recommend those standard items. And we will definitely do some more conversations about the individual table A items in the future. So definitely subscribe to the channel so you can catch those, and thank you for watching.